Hey guys, welcome to this explainer. Okay, so if you're anything like me, you're looking at our upcoming syllabus and thinking, how on earth am I going to remember all of this? Well, don't worry. Today, I'm going to help us all ace our upcoming test by actually understanding the material, not just memorizing it. We're going to act as our own study group, breaking down these ancient concepts so they make perfect sense for us right here in middle school. All right, so here's our game plan for today's study session. We're going to hit 6 main topics: acing our Zen exam, emptying your mental cup, experiencing it for yourself, letting go of fear, knowing versus actually doing, and finally, a lifelong happy path. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Section 1, acing our Zen exam. Time to figure out the ground rules for how we're actually going to study this stuff together. All right, first flashcard we gotta memorize, koan. Basically, it's a super short story or a riddle that honestly sounds like total nonsense at first, like completely made up. But that's kind of the point. It's specifically designed to make you stop, scratch your head, and really think about a greater truth about the world. It's not like a math problem with one simple right answer, you know? It's more like a tool to make your brain stretch. But here is the huge trick for the test. Normally, we just memorize facts, right? Like some random history date. But the source material makes a massive distinction. Learning facts is one thing, but truly understanding for yourself, that means you actually know it. We've all crammed for a test, got an A, and then completely forgot everything the next day because we didn't actually get why it mattered. There is a huge gap between someone just telling you a fact and you having that real aha moment for yourself. Which leads us to Section 2, emptying your mental cup. Let's talk about some overflowing tea. Okay, so our first story is about this scholar who visits a monk named Nanan to learn all about Zen. But instead of giving a boring lecture, Nanan just starts pouring his guest a cup of tea. And he just keeps pouring and pouring. Even when the cup is completely full, he doesn't stop and hot tea is spilling literally all over the table. The guest is totally freaking out, yelling that the cup is full and to stop. And here is the absolute most crucial part. Nanan looks right at his guest and drops this quote: "You are just like this cup, full of your own thoughts and ideas. If you don't first empty yourself, how can I teach you about Zen?" He's basically saying, if our brains are already stuffed with our own opinions and prejudices, we literally don't have any room left to take in new truths others are trying to share with us. Let's put that in middle school terms. Imagine trying to play a brand new video game, but your brain is stubbornly locked onto the button mash combos from an entirely different game. You keep pressing X to jump because, well, that's what you already know. But in this new game, X actually drops your shield, and you instantly lose. If you don't empty your mind of those old controls first, you're never going to learn the new ones. All right, Section 3, experiencing it for yourself. This is where we learn why just reading the textbook won't be enough to pass. We've got 2 classic stories here that prove some things you just have to live. First, a monk explains that words are merely a finger pointing at the moon. I mean, the finger obviously isn't the moon itself, right? Confusing the words for the actual truth is just silly. Then we get this hilarious story where a monk is asked to explain the deep meaning of Zen, and he just gets up and says he has to go to the bathroom. It sounds entirely absurd, but his point is that going to the bathroom is a totally insignificant, everyday thing, but it's something absolutely no one else can do for him. Think about it like this. You never ask your best friend to eat your absolute favorite pizza for you, right? Or say, hey, can you go play in my championship soccer game for me while I stay home? No way. Because to get the real benefit, the real joy out of it, you have to experience it yourself. Simply having someone describe how awesome a slice of pizza is doesn't exactly fill your stomach. Moving right along to Section 4, letting go of fear. This next koan is all about a super tough guy who gets seriously scared. Picture a huge, tough, brave general. This is a guy who has literally led thousands of soldiers into battle. He's faced the threat of death tons of times without even blinking. But one day, he's admiring his favorite, super expensive antique teacup, and he almost drops it. He catches it at the very last second, but his heart is absolutely pounding and he's sweating with terror. He realizes he's genuinely terrified over a tiny little cup. So why is this tough-as-nails general suddenly terrified of a cup? Well, have you ever been so worried about losing a favorite toy or a game that you actually stopped having fun playing with it? That's what this story is hitting on. We literally draw fear to ourselves when we get overly attached.
We start stressing way too much about gaming things and losing things. The general loved his antique cup so much that the thought of losing it totally controlled his feelings. So you know what he actually did? He tossed the cup over his shoulder and smashed it to pieces. Just completely freed himself from the fear.
Okay, home stretch, guys. Section 5, knowing versus actually doing. Let's look at why knowing the right answer isn't the same as doing it. These two stories pair up perfectly. In the first one, a master tells his student that Zen isn't hiding anything from him, and he compares it to the sweet smell of the osmanthus flowers filling the air all around them. The message: seize the present moment. Experience what's literally right in front of you. Then we have this famous poet who asks a monk how to live a good life. The monk says, avoid all evil and perform all good. The poet totally laughs it off and says, even a 3-year-old knows that.
But then the monk replies with this absolute mic drop quote. A 3-year-old may know it, but not even a 100-year-old can do it. People almost always know exactly what they should be doing, but they totally fail themselves. Avoiding bad stuff and doing good stuff is so ridiculously simple that a toddler understands the concept. But actually acting on it day after day, that takes a lifetime of practice. Knowing is super easy, doing is really hard.
Let's wrap up our study session with Section 6, a lifelong happy path. This is the biggest takeaway of the whole explainer.
Okay, get your highlighters out. Make absolutely sure you memorize this definition for the test. According to our notes, Zen isn't just a religion. It is a lifetime of teachings and meditation meant to attain enlightenment and ultimately to live a happy life. Think of it as a super useful toolkit for anybody, no matter what they believe, who just wants to build a better, happier existence step by step. So, if we take all these ancient koans and translate them into literal, actionable steps for daily life, here is our game plan. Number 1, empty your mind of old prejudices. Dump out that old tea. Number 2, experience the truth for yourself. Don't just point at the moon, go outside and look at it. Number 3, drop your fears of gaining and losing things. Seriously, don't be the general sweating over a teacup. And number 4, seize the present moment and smell the flowers right in front of you.
Good luck on the test, everybody. As we pack up our study materials, I really want to leave you with this one thought. When you walk into that exam room, or honestly, just out into your daily life, are you going to just recite facts like a parrot, or are you actually going to live the truth? Remember, there is a massive difference between being told an insight and truly living it for yourself. Let's go out there and show them what we really know.